Good morning. Welcome to Unity Orlando. Our opening statement this morning is, God is my help in every need, and I am provided for abundantly. Let's all affirm that together. God is my help in every need, and I am provided for abundantly. All right, let's all close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Let's affirm that together in the silence. And so it is. And now if you'd like to stand and help us sing our joy song this morning, it's called Spirit Invitation. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spirit, see through me now, hear through me now, and speak through me. Spirit, be with me now, be right here now, and comfort me. Spirit, be in this place, be in my space, and comfort me. Spirit, feel through me now, I feel you now, we are one. Spirit, see through me now, hear through me now, and speak through me. Spirit, be with me now, be right here now, and comfort me. Spirit, be in this place, be in my space, and comfort me. Spirit, feel through me now, I feel you now, we are one. Be right here now and comfort me. Be right here now, we are one. All right, thank you. You may be seated.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Filling in for Susan Francis today. My name is Paul Kenny. Anybody new here for the first time? Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. I didn't see your hand go up. Carol caught it. We'll get a packet to you. We have a welcome packet, so thanks for coming to the service. Prayer chaplains are available to pray with you every Sunday after service. Also, they pray every evening at 8 p.m. and invite you to join them from wherever you are. The July affirmation is, my understanding of truth deepens and directs my life. I'm a prayer chaplain, and Bob, prayer chaplain. So if you'd like prayer after service, see one of us. Reverend Lulu's Zoom book class, Art of Abundance, starts Tuesday. There's flyers for that, and they're out on the credenza. And we have a picnic coming up, and I'm going to ask Carol to talk to that.
Good morning. Originally, this was supposed to be your money covered everything. And then some people came up to me last week and said, should we bring something? And I got to thinking and ruminating all week long. So I've talked to the office staff, and we're going to change it into the $5 covers the hamburgers, hot dogs, and vegetarian options, buns, and condiments. And then the rest is a potluck. So any side dishes, desserts, or anything else, it's just a time to come together and be a community and love each other and have lunch with one another. So that's the intent of the whole thing. So we invite you next Sunday after the second service. Tickets are $5. If you come at the door, we're going to bump it up a little bit to $7. And see me after service for purchase of tickets, and let's come and have some fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol. Okay, so Susan said I had to tell a story. So the story is about the painting of the church, which is now complete. Yeah, it's really quite a story. It's the outside of the church. It started in March, and one of our congregation members arranged to have the church pressure washed and caulked at no cost to the church. Thank you, Susie. That was wonderful. Because we were all going to bring our pressure washers out here and kind of try to do it ourselves. And that was a big plus. So Susan Francis led the effort. She's our board president, and she was on top of this thing from start to finish. We had a pretty good group on March 14th for a couple of days, probably a dozen people. And then we had a core group, 4 or 5 of us, every Tuesday for 13 Tuesdays after that to paint. We did bring a contractor in at the end because there were some areas we couldn't reach. The wall behind me on the outside is super high. And since none of us are mountain climbers, we decided that's probably not a good idea. And also we had some trim. The wood just really needed to be replaced, and the contractor did that for us. So we pulled the money from our church operating budget. About $10,000 is what we did, which is really, for a church this size, a building this size, was really significant that we got that done for that. We'd like to replace that. So today we're starting a paint project fundraiser, and I'm the board treasurer, so I'll be honcho in that effort. If you decide to contribute to that, there's a couple things to do. One is you can write a note on the envelopes that are in the pews, paint project, so we know that's what that's for. You can put it in your check memo item. And if you donate online, there's a place for a note online, and you can write that in there. The only thing I would request is that you do not divert your Sunday donation to that, because then the operating budget goes down while the paint project goes up, and we kind of get a net zero for that. So please maintain your regular Sunday donations. I will personally match every donation dollar for dollar until we reach our goal. So if you give 50, it'll be 100. If you give 100, it'll be 200. If somebody writes a check for $1,000, it'll turn into $2,000. So I think a few of you would probably want to test me on that. So I'm kind of counting on it. So we'll start today, and we'll keep you posted on how it goes. Okay. Bob's talk title is Be the Solution, Not the Problem. Over to the music team.
Paul, I really was amazed at the first time I pulled in and saw the new color. It was really nice. Really love the color of the church. And thank you. Pick those colors. Here's a song. It's called Dream Sailor. It's because I was sailing through a dream, and I picked this song out, and it was originally for a title called Captain of My Ship, because it's a dream about a ship that I had. But it really does good for this topic as well. It's called Dream Sailor. I had to write this song because it's been so long since I've seen you in a dream. We were sailing along in a vessel strong, and you handed me the wheel. and I steered us around the storm, and you cleared the skies and filled me warm, and I live in all your glory now, in a world of love and bliss. Now I shine your light in the world to see, in a world in harmony, in a world in harmony. So I wrote this song because it's been too long since I've been in a dream with you. As we reach the shore of happiness, in a world of love and more, in a world of love and more, and I live in all your glory now, in a world of love and bliss, and I shine your light in the world to see, in a world in harmony, in a world in harmony. And I live in all your glory now, in a world of love and bliss, and I shine your light in the world to see, in a world in harmony, in a world in harmony, in a world in harmony.
Ah, that was perfect. You sounded wonderful today. Thank you. And the song's the perfect one for today, without a doubt. How are you all on this wonderful Sunday prior to Independence Day? Isn't that the day when the aliens land? No, I'm sorry, that's the movie. No. July 4th, 1776. It's getting way into the rearview mirror. Okay, before we get going, I do have a little more serious announcement to make. Many of you will know Bob Miller. He would often sit back there. He is Joy Miller's husband. Joy is a chaplain. And always had a kind word for whoever was passing by. Bob passed yesterday morning early. So we bless him on his way. But he's the lucky one. The other side is great. It's the ones who are left behind that we need to truly hold in our prayers. So we surround Joy in love and light. Today I chose as the topic, be the solution, not the problem. Well, July 4th is Wednesday, right? We'll be celebrating, am I correct? There's a good reason I left becoming an engineer. Thursday, is it? There was a frown on Linda's face. I knew I'd made some mistake. Okay. It's on July 4th, no matter what. We're going to celebrate Independence Day. I'm going to do that this week, so I have chosen to speak today on asserting our spiritual independence. I'm talking about being independent of the crowd. Independent of all that's going on around you. Staking a statement for goodness, no matter how much that seems to be the contrary, is going on in the world around you. And you're going to have a degree of personal independence to do that, without a doubt. But before we get going, let's celebrate our national independence and celebrate living in the United States of America. I'm proud to be an American. I've often wondered what it would be like to have grown up somewhere else. And I'm not sure I can even imagine it. But being an American comes with amazing privileges and great responsibilities. Now, I have this theory that we're a very special gene pool, all of us who are Americans. You see, we are a nation of immigrants. We all came from somewhere, unless you're 100% Native American. You came from somewhere. Your forebears did anyway. And being an immigrant actually takes a very special person. You've probably got to have more initiative, courage, and be more of a risk taker than your fellows around you to get off your duff and go to another country. I mean, it takes a lot of gumption to go to a new country, sometimes a new language, but definitely new customs, new experiences, the unknown. It takes quite a degree of courage. And we descend from a whole group of people who did this, which means our gene pool is very much connected to courage. Any way you cut it. Now, I've had people in the past, when I presented this, say, well, my forebears didn't make that decision. They were brought over under duress. And I agree, but I think it's really quite similar. Only the strongest and the bravest survived that experience. So I don't care whether you come from forebears who made the choice or forebears who were drug here. We descend from a line of people who had more courage, more ability to embrace change, sometimes whether they wanted to or not. People who had more, gumption than the usual. And I believe that's part of what makes Americans unique. Only the strongest willed and the bravest made and survived the journey. So, with that in mind, I said, it's a great privilege to be American. It's also a great responsibility. In terms of responsibility, the responsibility of being American is that we are a major world leader in tumultuous times in global politics. And we have to choose how best to serve goodness in our world and in our country. I mean, if you take a real good look at what's going out there, it's pretty scary at what's going on throughout the world. We got hot wars in Ukraine and Israel. We have simmering wars in the whole Middle East, Asia, Africa, South America, certain areas of Eastern Europe, and basically we have simmering tensions that could break into war and even break into world war all over the globe, everywhere you look. And you can be taken in by that vision, as 99% of the world is. Or you can say, I choose to take a stand for goodness. I am not saying, I'm not up here today to say, the world is a mess. There are plenty of people saying that. I'm up here today to say, right now is the time that you and I need to take a stand for goodness. It's time to be part of the solution and not just expand the problem. The problem is the darkness that pervades human consciousness. The thought atmosphere all around you, the masses are filled with anger, pain, and blame. They pervade human consciousness. And you can tune into any news station these days. No longer is the news the facts and simply the facts. The news all comes with an opinion. Whether it's off the deep web where they tell you no one else knows this but them, or whether it's the main stations, they all can tell you who to hate and who to blame. And if you pick it up and pass it on, you've become part of the problem. The problem is there's too much darkness in this world. This world needs to be filled with light. To turn away from darkness and to center on goodness, we'll have to declare our independence from the crowd, because I got to tell you, there are a lot of people around you in anger, pain, and blame. We have to turn away from violent thought energy that surrounds us, because there's a lot of people who know it's all falling apart and it's all going to be a mess. Can you pull against that? Can you choose to concentrate on goodness, even while those around you are concentrating on anger, fear, blame, and pain? Because that's the only way we're going to make this world a better place. by putting our attention on what we want to see grow in our life. Isn't that the way it is? Place your attention on what you want to see grow in your life. And so often the crowd says, oh, let's go, let's get upset, let's be angry, let's look at this, let's look at how terrible everything is. And, well, place your attention on it and it will grow. Most of our souls came into this life with one purpose. Your soul came here to lift human consciousness, to infuse the thought atmosphere that we all share. We're all floating around in everybody's thoughts. To infuse it with light. And to create a new heaven and a new earth, a world uplifted on wings of spirit, right? To create something greater. Your soul came in to pour light into human consciousness. But a lot of us, our personal selves, didn't get the message. So this personal self we're wearing, this outer self, while the soul is trying to fill the consciousness of humanity with light, we're radiating more anger, blame, and resentment and fear, which really puts us totally at odds with the purpose of our soul. We're pulling against the sacred purpose of our soul. I have had the privilege of a spiritual experience in which I came face to face with the eternal part of my being, with my soul, with my Christ self, whatever you want to call it. I came face to face with what was inside of me, and it was devastating to my outer self because I always thought I was important. I thought I was doing something important. I thought my opinions mattered. And when I came face to face with this, there was this eternal being, the one who's going to be after I die. After I let go, this being goes on. And it's who I was before I came into this earth, who I will be after I leave, and after I lay this human disguise aside. And in its presence, I suddenly realized all this stuff I thought I was doing was meaningless compared to the work that my soul had been doing from the moment I entered this life. And I looked around and saw that everyone has majesty inside of them. Everyone. Now, not all our personal selves reflect that real well. But let's put it this way. When I was there and I saw and was in the presence and was sharing with this being that was within me and realized how small I was compared to my soul. Well, I came out of that with the commitment that all I wanted to do was be the pencil sharpener for this magnificent being that was inside of me. And in the end, we all want to learn to serve, or at least harmonize with, the purpose of our soul, which is to nurture goodness. That's why your soul came in. But even after I made that commitment and came back into outer life, because we still have to live our lives. We have to play our roles. We have to be earth people. That's what we came here to do. And so even after I came out, I found the pull of the crowd is strong. The pull of all those around you who are very sure who you should hate and who you should blame and who you should fear. And so even today, I find myself sometimes filled with strong opinions, negative emotions, and violent perceptions of life. Why? Well, there's an old Unity saying that covers it very nicely. If you don't think for yourself, human race consciousness will think for you. You walk into a room of angry people. If you do not have spiritual independence, you'll simply join them. You'll be angry too. We are immersed in a thought atmosphere. And we either have the independence to pour goodness into that thought atmosphere or the dependence to just absorb whatever's surrounding us at the moment. So the first step to helping the world be a better place is to turn away from the compelling dark emotions of the crowd around you and embrace the mission of your soul. Embrace in your life nurturing goodness, no matter what anyone else around you is doing. Now, if you look at the world around you right now, well, it's going to take strength to take a stand for goodness. It's going to take strength to declare that all your attention will be placed on what goodness in life you can find. That's where my attention is. But this is exactly the type of strength that Jesus continually taught through his teaching. Now in Luke 13, 20 through 21, it says, Jesus said, "To what shall I liken the kingdom of God? It is like the leaven which a woman took and buried in 3 measures of flour until it was all leavened." It's followed up in Luke 17, 21, "The kingdom of God is within you." Put those two together, and what it really says is within you is the ability to become the leaven that lifts human consciousness, slowly but surely. And so today I urge you to be the leaven. You know, that's those little bubbles that make the bread rise. And every time you center your life on nurturing goodness wherever you find it, you create one of those bubbles. And you become the leaven. In the end, you use your life to become part of the solution rather than expand the problem. It's not the most violent who can kill everybody else that will inherit the earth. I know we think that's how we make the world a better place, by burning all the bad people. The problem is there are differing opinions on who the bad people are. If God gave everyone the power to get rid of all the bad people, I'm pretty sure there'd be nobody left on earth. Simple as that. You don't create a better world by destroying the bad. You create a better world by nurturing the good and having it grow and flourish and expand. Nurturing the light in human consciousness. So, today I want to present 3 basic steps for joining Jesus in becoming the leaven within human consciousness. The first is real simple. You got to turn away from the darkness. Turn away from thoughts and opinions of the crowd that are steeped in human drama and negativity. You say, well, that drama's really out there. Yeah, maybe. It's not going to go with you when you leave this world. It's not as real as you think it is. But we all get caught in, we know exactly how to make this world a better place. Just get rid of all the bad people, right? All the bad stuff. Okay. Turn away from anger. Can you do that? I don't know. You look at the world around you, and I get angry. Do you get angry? We literally have to turn away from that. Say, no, not going to be part of the problem. Part of the problem is the anger, the pain, the fear, domination, which is driven by fear. No, not going to be part of the problem. I'm going to turn away from anger. I'm going to turn away from blame. This one gets harder and harder if you listen to the news. 50% of the country knows who to blame, and then 50% of the other 50% blames exactly the opposite. Who's right? Neither. Turn away from the blame. Don't worry, there's plenty of people out there still to cast it. And turn away to your visions of terrible outcomes, the drama. Are we on the verge of World War III? I don't know. I've been waiting on cataclysm for 60 years. Haven't seen it yet. We might be getting closer, it seems. But that vision doesn't help this world. And it doesn't help the world that we see things getting worse. That we look at the world and see fear. That we see terrible outcomes. That our favorite movies are becoming, they're all dystopian these days instead of utopian. What we have to do is turn away from all the negatives and choose to be independent, not drawn into the dark drama of the crowd. You know, I once was at I don't know, it was a mind power workshop. I forget the exact name of it, but Wally Minto, I believe, was the name of the speaker who was giving it. Now we're going back to the 70s. And he looked out at the crowd and he said, how many of you out there have a headache? And a bunch in this area lifted their hands, and over there was one more other little area. And he says, okay, all of you there in that biggest area, where a bunch of you have your hands up, only one of you has a headache. The rest of you has his headache. And he was able to help relieve that whole thing. We've all got somebody else's anger. We've made it our own. I get that. But it started somewhere else. And we need to let it go. Be independent. We're immersed in this thought atmosphere, and if you let your guard down for a second, these strong emotions of negativity will begin to flow through you. They're all around you. So keep vigilant. Do not add anger, condemnation, or harsh judgment, or belief in doom to the thought atmosphere. It has all it needs. You don't need to add it. Now, in Matthew 5:44 through 45, Jesus said, "Love your enemies, bless anyone who curses you, do good to anyone who hates you, and pray for those who carry you away by force and persecute you, so that you may become sons of your Father who is in heaven." What's he saying? He's saying represent only goodness in spite of all the appearances of what's happening around you. Keep your attention on goodness. Love your enemies. Don't join them. Don't make the problem worse. Bless anyone who curses you. I am about goodness. Pray for those who carry you away. Give goodness where there is darkness. Represent goodness so that you can be the leaven in the kingdom of God. The leaven, the little bubbles of goodness that lift the whole loaf. Now, the second step I'm going to talk about, the first is turning away from what you don't want to radiate. The second is actually embracing the fact that you are contributing to the thought atmosphere around us. Oh, the office hates it when I use this, but basically you need to understand that when you are expressing anger, fear, blame, even pain, everyone around you is feeling it. Remember, only one of you has a headache. The rest of you have his. And when you walk around in that state of consciousness, everyone around you is picking it up. It's like getting onto an elevator and passing gas, right? That's what Linda always frowns at me over. You want to get onto an elevator with flowers. You want to bring everybody up, not down. Charles Fillmore wrote in Atom Smashing Power of Mind, "The work the overcomer does for the world is to help establish a new race consciousness. By declaring and decreeing spiritually the words of Jesus and Jehovah, we send into the ether a spiritual force that shatters the fixed states of consciousness holding millions in evil ways." And now we have it. The most important section and the part you've got. Anyone who has faith in spirit and the power of the word spoken in faith can send it forth. And like radio waves, it will be picked up by receptive minds everywhere. If you can experience joy, it's contagious. If you radiate a belief that God is in charge, other minds will pick it up everywhere. You don't need to know who they are. You're radiating it into the thought atmosphere, and people are just picking it up. This is not magic. You're already doing it. We're just not using it well. It's time to put some discipline into what we radiate into the world around us. So how do we use this? What are you going to radiate into the thought atmosphere? You're going to declare, God is in charge of my life and my world. And you're going to declare that over and over, knowing that you are not just declaring it for yourself, you are radiating that into the thought atmosphere, that others can pick this up everywhere and begin to remember this. You're going to send light, love, and joy into the thought atmosphere for everyone to pick up. Don't you love it when someone comes along and says, get happy? What are you talking about? No, you have to feel joy to radiate joy. So work on feeling joy in your bubble, because that's where I'm going next. Feel joy and radiate that into the thought atmosphere. See divine order even in the midst of seeming chaos, because a lot of people out there, the crowd sees the chaos. It takes a strong individual to see divine order in spite of the appearance. And see the light of life shining through everything in the world. We all want to divide the world into the good guys and the bad guys. The light of life is shining through everyone and everything. I mean, we would like to divide the animals into the ones we like and the ones we don't. And if we removed all the animals we don't like, we'd ruin the earth. It's all a balance. Everything has its place. Everyone has its place. Are we willing to give them that? The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Psalm 24:1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. He didn't say the good guys in the earth. He said the earth has the light of life shining through it all. Which leads us to that last step, which is create a bubble with your life. Create a bubble of harmony with your life. Imagine yourself in that bubble. And see the bubble like the leaven, lifting human consciousness as it rises. To create a bubble of goodness, you're going to first have to feel harmony. That's what it's steeped in. Harmony. So feel harmony with yourself. You say, oh yeah, I'm in harmony with myself. So few people actually are. Treat yourself like that child that you know will grow and do better. Because actually, though we will deny it, we often know our flaws even better than those around us. Come into harmony with yourself. I am fine with being who I am. Come into harmony with your world. Are you in harmony with this world, or are you at total odds with it? And then feel yourself in harmony with the universe. If you can do all of that, you will know I am in harmony with God. I am in harmony with the Spirit that moves through all of life. Feel that. And part of feeling that harmony is love as much as you can from wherever you are. Love the sky, love the earth, love the trees, love the people. Love the animals, love the dark, the night, and love the day. Midnight's one of my favorite times. The thought atmosphere gets quiet. Love life as much as you can. And for your bubble, realize the world needs more joy. And the most spiritual thing you can do with your life is enjoy it and quit hating it. Love your life. Feel joy. You say, well, the world hasn't treated me very well lately. I'm sorry, joy comes from within. It has nothing to do with how the world is treating you. There have been spiritual masters who've been in ecstasy while in the worst imprisoned conditions you can imagine. I'm not sure whether I'm that good, but I can at least try to feel joy where I am. The world needs me to feel joy because there are a lot of people out there who aren't. And wherever you are, look for the beauty in life and cherish it. That's part of keeping your attention on goodness. Praise all that can be praised. If there is any virtue, if there is any praise, think about these things. In fact, Paul gave excellent instructions for creating your bubble. In Philippians 4:8, he said, whatever is true, whatever is honest, just, pure, lovely, of good report, if there is any virtue, if there is any praise, think about these things. You want to make this world a better place. Quit fighting. Take a stand for goodness. Do exactly what Paul said. Whatever is true, honest, just, pure, lovely, of good report. If there is any virtue, if there is any praise, think about these things. And as you do, your bubble will rise. And as it rises, this big loaf that we call humanity will begin to rise too. You are the leaven. You are the leaven. And our bubbles of harmony, joy, love, and beauty will ultimately lift the whole loaf. So join Jesus Christ in declaring, if I be lifted up, will draw all men unto me. Offer your life to goodness, knowing that as you rise, you're not rising above your fellows. They will rise with you. Create a life steeped in goodness, knowing you are the leaven, helping to lift this thought atmosphere in which we're all immersed. Let's close our eyes. And we go within and into our hearts, and the first step is, of course, your heart is where you meet and experience God. And we clutter it with so many negative emotions. So here within, the center of your being, withdraw your mind and your heart from any anger, resentment that you have toward the world around you, towards anyone or anything. They're not worth ruining your life over. Turn away from the anger and the resentment. Turn away from the visions of fear. Peace. Be still. Be still and know that I am God. That's the presence we feel within our hearts when we let go of all the heavy stuff. It calls from deep within us, from right in the depths of our soul. Be still and know that I am God. You are immersed in my presence. And know with certainty God is in charge of my life. And God is even in charge of this seemingly chaotic world. God is still in charge. Divine order is established in my life and in this world, and see yourself radiating that right out into the thought atmosphere. Divine order is established in my life and in this world. Though the world seems immersed in darkness, see yourself in a bubble of light, a bubble of love, of joy, of harmony. Doesn't matter what the world does around me. Like Joshua, we will say, as for me and my household, we serve the Lord. As for me and my consciousness, we serve goodness. So remember that you are much more than this human being, and see yourself as a being of light. Touch that soul within you who came into this life to infuse light into the thought atmosphere, and think all I want to do is be the pencil sharpener for this majestic, awe-inspiring being within me that is my eternal soul. I do not want to be at odds with this most important part of who I am. This outer self is passing. So I, in the outer self, let me serve the Christ Spirit within me. Father, use me, that your light can flow through me and lift all those around me. Through my heart, radiate light, love, healing, and the experience of your presence into all the thought atmosphere, to be picked picked up by receptive minds and hearts everywhere. See your life as a little bubble of goodness. The leaven, helping to lift all humankind. Dedicate your life that God may use you to help lift humanity. And as you think of your bubble, realize, if I be lifted up, will draw all humanity with me. Father, thy will be done through each and every one of us, and finally through all of us together. Thy will be done. Amen. And if our usher will come forward, we'll prepare for our offering. For those of you at home, you're an extremely important part of this church. And your offerings are extremely helpful to us. So this is how you give them. You can, at the end of service, go to the homepage of our website and hit the Donate Now button, where you can use a credit card or PayPal. You can pull off our address and mail us a check. You can use Zelle, but if you use Zelle, you have to use our email, which is unityorlando@gmail.com. Or you call the office and work things out with Linda. She'll help you through it. In either case, whether you're holding the image of what you're going to give, or whether you're here and you're holding your offering in your hands, let's affirm together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Bob. And this is a song for anybody walking through their own desert, finding an oasis within yourself. It's called Never Far Away. You caught me walking through a desert all by myself. I keep searching for a reason, but there's no answers left. Then I remember there's a spark of you, my inner light. I found myself in an oasis, and I had to realize you kept me warm in an endless winter. You keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me, you're always in me. You're never far away, you're never far away. You're never far away. Now I'm not searching for the answers like I used to do, 'cause I've run out of all the questions, 'cause all I need is you. You kept me warm in an endless winter. You keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me, you're always in me. You're never far away, you're never far away. You're never far away. this winter. You keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me, you're always in me. You're never far away, you're never far away. You kept me warm in an endless winter. You keep me dry in the pouring rain. You're always with me, you're always in me. You're never far away, you're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away. You're never far away.
Ah, that was wonderful. I love ending the service on that up note. Well, okay, whether you're watching at home or sitting right out here, thank you for being with us. Thank you for being Unity Orlando, my spiritual family and my friends, those who walk with me on this path through life. Next Sunday, my topic will be science defending spirituality. They're not so far apart. In the meantime, on Thursday, have a wonderful 4th of July holiday. Let's all rise and let's finish this service off by declaring to the whole world our prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all.